He had only been riding for 3 hours when he realized someone was following him, silent, steady, and too skilled to be a drifter. The air felt wrong, the wind carried no sound, and every shadow behind him felt like it held a knife ready to slip between his ribs. He didn't know it yet. But the moment he saw those ancient stones buried beneath the desert dust, his life and his ranch were no longer his. The morning sun was climbing out of the eastern hills when Cole Harding tugged his horse to a stop. The land ahead looked like any other part of the Arizona frontier, flat, scorched, and lonely. But something glimmered beneath a layer of sand. Not gold, not metal. These were stones laid with purpose, smoothed by 1,000 years of footsteps and weathered by time. Cole dismounted, brushing away the sand with his glove. The stones ran straight as a rifle barrel, stretching toward the distant canyons. He felt a cold prickle at the back of his neck. Someone had walked here long before his family ever set foot on the Harding ranch, but who? Before he could study the stones further, he heard it, the unmistakable snort of a horse behind him. Cole spun, hand on his revolver. A figure sat motionless atop a black Mustang about 30 yards away. Dressed in traditional Apache buckskin, the man's face was calm, unreadable, as if carved from the same stone Cole had just uncovered. "You found something that does not belong to you," the Apache said in a voice steady as the desert wind. Cole's heartbeat kicked hard. "I was just looking. Didn't touch nothing." The Apache eyed him for several seconds, then turned his horse without a word and disappeared behind a rise of red earth as if he'd been swallowed by it. Cole waited, breath tight, but the man didn't return. When he turned back to the ground, a new unease grew in his chest. The stones extended straight across the southern edge of his ranch, land his father had bought 30 years ago with sweat and cattle money. Cole mounted his horse again and headed home, thoughts twisting like dust devils. The Apache had not threatened him, but the warning in his voice was clearer than sunlight. Cole Harding had trespassed. By the time he reached the ranch house, the sky was burning orange. His foreman, Hank Bishop, was waiting by the corral, leaning against a fence post with a cigarette between his teeth. "You look like you've seen a ghost," Hank said. Cole didn't answer at first. He tied off his horse and finally spoke. "I think I found something old. Real old. And I think the Apache want it." Hank raised an eyebrow. "The Apache ain't been active around here in years." "You sure?" "I saw one today. Watching me." "Well," Hank muttered, "that ain't good." That night, Cole sat alone on the porch, staring out at the moonlit horizon. Somewhere in the darkness lay a path older than any map, older than any ranch deed, something his father had never mentioned, because maybe his father had never known. The next morning, Cole rode out again and the stones were gone. Not buried, not removed, erased, as if hands had worked through the night to hide them from him. But there was something else, hoof prints, dozens of them, forming a circle around the area where the stones had been. Cole swallowed hard. He wasn't dealing with one Apache. He was dealing with many. 2 days later, the Apache came for him. Cole was in the barn, tightening a saddle strap when he heard horses. Not one or two, many. The ground trembled lightly with their approach. Hank burst through the doorway, face pale. "Cole, you better see this." Cole stepped outside. A line of Apache riders stretched across his yard, silent as death, every one of them armed. At the front sat an older man with braided hair streaked in gray and eyes that carried centuries of memory. Cole lifted his hand slightly, trying to show respect. "Morning. If there's trouble—" "There is trouble," the elder interrupted. "You found the old road, the place of our ancestors, a path sacred to our people. Your ranch sits upon it." Cole breathed out slowly. "I didn't know. My father never said—" "Knowing is not needed for guilt," the elder said. "The earth remembers even when men forget." A younger Apache rode forward, the same one Cole had seen days earlier. His stare was cold. "You were warned." "I wasn't trying to take it," Cole tried to explain. "I was just curious. I didn't mean disrespect." The elder raised his chin. "Intent does not change what is. The ancestors demand the land be returned." Cole's heart slammed against his ribs. "You want my ranch?" "It belongs to the Apache," the elder replied. "It always has." Hank muttered under his breath. "Hell no. You can't just give it up, Cole." Cole felt trapped between two worlds. On one side, the ranch his family had worked for decades. On the other, a people who believed he was standing on the bones of their history. "What happens if I say no?" Cole asked. The younger Apache leaned forward. Then you will leave the land in a way chosen by the spirits. A chill swept through Cole. That wasn't a threat, it was a promise. I need time, Cole said quietly. You have 3 sunsets, the elder replied. After that, the ancestors will take what belongs to them, one way or another. The Apache turned and rode away as silently as they had come. For the next 2 days, Cole barely slept. Hank insisted they fight, gather the ranch hands, arm themselves, prepare for an attack. But Cole wasn't convinced violence would solve anything. The Apache had not come to negotiate, they'd come to reclaim. On the evening of the second sunset, Cole made his decision. He saddled his horse, strapped on his revolver, and set out toward the canyon where the old road vanished into the mountains. The desert stretched quiet around him, but he felt eyes watching from every rise and shadow. He rode until darkness swallowed the sky. In a circle, their faces lit by the flames. The elder stepped forward. You return alone, he said. I came to speak, Cole replied. Not to fight. The elder nodded. Then speak. I didn't know about the old road, but now that I do, I won't disrespect it. I want to understand. Why does the land matter so much? The elder motioned for him to sit by the fire. Cole hesitated but obeyed. This road carried the trade of our ancestors, the elder began. It was the artery of our people, food, medicine, sacred items, everything moved through this path. When the white man came, the road was lost, buried under fences and cattle in towns. He paused. But the spirits remain. And when someone uncovers what is meant to rest, they awaken. Cole stared into the flames. And you think I awakened them? The younger Apache leaned forward. We know you did. Cole took a slow breath. Then tell me what I can do. I don't want your land. I don't want to take anything from you. The elder's voice softened. What we need is simple. Let the road breathe again. Let it be walked. Let it be remembered. Cole frowned. You're saying I don't have to give up the ranch? The elder nodded. Only the land touching the old road, a corridor. We walk it once each year in honor of our ancestors. Relief washed over Cole like cool rain. That I can do. The elder extended his hand. Cole shook it. But the younger Apache glared. I still do not trust him. Trust is earned, the elder said, as it should be. They talked until the fire died, forming an uneasy but hopeful peace. By sunrise, Cole returned home with a new understanding and a new burden. The ranch hands were shocked, Hank furious, but Cole stood firm. He marked off the land along the old road, fencing it lightly and leaving it untouched. For a time, things were calm. But peace on the frontier is a fragile thing. 3 months later, strangers rode onto the ranch. White men, rugged and dangerous, carrying rifles and greed in their eyes. They had heard rumors of ancient Apache treasures, buried near the Harding Ranch, and where rumors grow, trouble follows. What's this road? One of the men asked, kicking at the stones with his boot. It ain't for you, Cole said firmly. Ride on. But they didn't. That night, the men returned with shovels, digging into the sacred earth. Cole tried to stop them, but the outlaws were many, and he was only one man. A fight broke out, shots cracked through the night, and Cole fell to the ground with a bullet grazing his shoulder. The outlaws ran deeper along the road, searching for treasures they believed were hidden beneath it. They didn't get far. Cole could barely stand, but he saw them. Dozens of Apache riders emerging from the darkness, silent and swift. Shadows came alive as arrows flew. The outlaws screamed, dropping their weapons, but the Apache closed in too fast. When dawn finally painted the sky, the outlaws were gone, driven out or taken by the spirits of the canyon. Cole would never know. The elder approached Cole as he sat wounded against a fence post. We told you the ancestors protect the road, the elder said. Cole nodded weakly. And I'll protect it too. As long as I draw breath. For the first time, the younger Apache stepped forward and offered his hand. You fight for what is right, he said. Now we trust you. Cole shook his hand, blood staining their palms, sealing a pact older than maps and deeds. Over the years, the Harding Ranch prospered again. Each year, the Apache walked the old road in silence, their footsteps tracing the memories of long-lost ancestors, and Cole stood guard at the edge of the trail, head over his heart, honoring the promise he made. People in nearby towns whispered of strange lights along the old road at night, of shadows that moved without wind, of riders who vanished when approached. Cole didn't speak of it. Some things are meant to stay between a man and the spirits of the land he protects, but he never forgot the day he uncovered the stones, The day he realized the past is never truly buried, not in the West, and certainly not on Apache land.